Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Charlotte Silver Wolves. In our last episode, we have made some fairly minor changes to the team, I think. A lot of these are players we've known and loved for quite a while, including Andy Gillens, last year's Rookie of the Year, coming back for more. Um, Literally every starter has started for this team once before, with the exception of Alejandro Ambris. He is our new third baseman, at least for now. Our pitching staff, Dan Sutton, um, is both our backup catcher and our pitcher. I don't know how to feel about that yet, but we're gonna give him his shot. I think he's earned it. He's the new two-way player, I guess. With Juan Carmona returning and the oft-injured Billy Pickren coming back to hopefully give us a quality season. Bullpen, we have a new closer in Chris Cram. Mr. Cram and the other Chris were both signed for a fairly small sum of money. Apparently, I signed the wrong one for the extra couple of years, but be that as it may. Daniel Roca follows up. We got some good stuff happening here. Casey Choate, most expensive reliever in the league. Pain. Just pain. There is a true rookie on the team, Mr. Sam Sexton. Mr. Sexton was going to be our third baseman, but he got lapped. But I feel pretty good about his chances here. We're going to be a utility guy to start out with, and then as he develops, we'll find a new job for him, I'm sure. Maybe we move Darren Heil to another position and give him second base, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Any announcements? Not that I can think of. I will be playing with this save probably until the end of OOTP 25's life cycle, i.e. until OOTP 26 comes out. I haven't heard anything about the new game yet, so I'm very curious to hear what happens with it and how it'll turn out. What's actually available. I do have an idea of what I want to do, however, with OOTP 26. I'm sure I'm not going to be the only person that's going to do this challenge, but I find it to be one that is quite interesting to me, which is taking the worst team in Major League history, or one of, excuse me, and making them into World Series champions. And I don't mean the Mets either. I mean the White Sox. So I feel like that would be a fun series. Maybe a bit of a shorter one, just long until we win a World Series. It's a challenge, right? That's something I want to do a little more with 26. Instead of having these great big long sims, which I do enjoy quite a lot, maybe it would be fun to have more like challenges, like try to accomplish certain goals with certain parameters. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just play some baseball, though. We've lost our first and only game so far. Clearly, I've got to cut everyone on the team. I hear you. We could have Joshua Ivanich back. Casey Choate is injured, as is tradition, so we can just do a flat-out swap for that. Oh, is Casey Choate starting? What's the starting? Who is my fifth starter right now? Oh, Dan Sutton. Okay. The man's had 2 starts. He hasn't been terrible. Hasn't been good, but he hasn't been terrible. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to be honest, it's going to make me sound terrible, but I really hope that Casey Choate is injured and ends his career. I made a mistake with him. And the problem is I'm going to keep having to make different mistakes because guys like Carmona and Pickren are coming up here. How long is he out for? 2,500 hits for Zapata and player development stuff. Carrillo's losing velocity as he ages. That's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not bad, but it does concern me. No real big changes here, which is fine. Jim Prestridge losing a tiny bit of velocity doesn't hurt me in the slightest. Yeah, okay. Alfredo Caballero improving. Nice. Very good. 2,500 hits for Sergio Zapata. Is there any chance in a billion years he gets to 3,000? Is that even remotely possible? The thing is, his look, his 163 game average is 184 hits, but he hasn't eclipsed 150 more. He hasn't gone past 160 apart from 2042, going back to 2036. I don't think he has that in him anymore. I'm not even convinced that he's a starter, to be perfectly honest with you. Um, but he's only out for 4 weeks. That's a Christmas miracle. We're not scoring a ton of runs, which does cause me some concern. Um, because given the raw talent on this roster, we should be like vaporizing baseballs with pretty consistent regularity. And now we're heating up a little bit. Maybe just we're off to a cold start, perhaps. Zapata's gonna miss 2 weeks with a herniated disc. How long is Dan Sutton out? Unclear. All right. Tommy Einberger can be called up. Just kind of figure out who needs to play where. That's fine. I can't help but notice that Sutton has a leg injury. Let's see how long he's out. 5 weeks. Injured his hamstring. Okay. Well, we've already got the backup catcher and Weinman, so this is replacing a pitcher. And I don't have a starting. I'm gonna have Gabe Vega. We can bring him back. That's fine. Eh. Carmona's gonna want to get paid, and that's something we're gonna have to figure out at some stage here. Yep, there he goes. That's classic Casey Choke behavior. Let's put you on a 60-day IL so I can move Guerrero. Rodolfo Guerrero. He's still around. Right, wrong save. Why is he on my short list? Oh, you know what? I set up the thing, didn't I? I set up the thing where I can see everybody's stuff. Rhodey Bombers got 5 hits. Nice. Nice. Give me a drink. There we go. I just saw a nice juicy 12 spot. That's what we're looking for here. Zapata can come back. I have an issue. I don't really want Zapata playing every day anymore. But my concern is if I don't force him to play left field, the game's going to put him at first base and then bench Gillens instead. We're going to try an experiment here. Okay, we're going to try it. Let's send Einberger back to the minors. Although he is actually hitting quite well in limited time. So is Galindo. Zapata. And I just want to see, are you going to bench Gillens? If you bench Gillens, you'll make me very sad. So don't do that. No, you actually benched Shumo? Hmm. Look, he's only around for one more year. Potentially. I mean, he's going to exercise his player option. He'd be stupid to opt out. I did not need to know that about Jason Giambi. In fact, I would argue that nobody needed to know that about Jason Giambi, but cool story, I guess. Anything crazy here? Not really. No, I don't. Wait, why the fuck did I get a notification that Guerrero had signed an extension? Oh, it's that Rodolfo Guerrero. Yeah, he was on us. He was on us for a minor league team, and then we ended up not keeping him. Whoops. All right, how are things going so far? Other than Gabe Vega, the pitching is pretty solid. We're making a lot of defensive errors, though. Who is our biggest defensive issue? And do I want to know? I probably don't want to know. It's Ambrice. Interesting. I figured it would have been like Zapata. Hmm. What if you didn't make errors, though? What if you didn't make errors? You're off to an ice cold start, but that's fine. This is all about figuring out who can play which positions well. I'm just gonna let it ride for now. It's hard. It's hard to get too upset when you're in first place, and we don't really know how this is all gonna work out yet. We're just gonna keep on keeping on for the present. Zapata's out for basically 2 months. I'm gonna put him on the 60-day IL, not because I'm trying to get rid of him. I mean, I guess I'm a little bit, but because I want him to have plenty of opportunities to recover. Um, really, dude, you just get back to the show and you get injured. Come on, guys. I guess you could call up Steve Pratt. Yeah, we'll call up Joe Brook instead. Get a bit of thump off the bench. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think Zapata's got much left in the tank, and I think he recognizes that. I'm not saying he'll definitely retire. I mean, the smart thing for him to do is to exercise his player option. Play one more year with us, and then maybe right off into the sunset. I'm not even saying I wouldn't give him a new contract if he asked for one, but it had to be a very small one. Because I don't want him playing every day anymore. He clearly can't handle it. Dan Sutton can return. Excellent news. I'm gonna send down Phil Sullivan for right now. No, I'm not. Phil Sullivan was really, really good last year. The thing is, I don't want to send down Gabe Big, who's actually pitching pretty effectively. Um, who is the least effective pitcher right now? It's actually Mike Boardman. And if I remember, Mike Boardman struggled last year too. I think a quick trip to the minors to work on his control could be just what the doctor ordered. So let's do that. And then we can activate Dan Sutton. There we go. I like it. Um, Joe Burke is hitting exceptionally well. I'm gonna go ahead and let Einberger go back to the minors. You might have gotten mildly pipped there, my friend. Man, Jarvis is putting up one hell of a season. Casey Cho is always injured. Well, that's fine. Number one starter is of course Ernie Jarvis. I'd like to remind you, Ernie Jarvis has never won a Cy Young award. He has come very close. He has multiple top three finishes. He's never ever won a Cy Young award. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's a definite Hall of Famer, but I think he has an excellent chance of making the Hall of Fame. He's already got 200 wins, which is a pretty big milestone. He's got plenty of war. I think he's got a chance, maybe even a good chance, of making the Hall of Fame. The fact that he continues, nice. Mitch Cuddles, got a not a Cy Young award. Jesus fucking Christ, Abby. Okay, Mitch Couples got a cycle. That's what we're talking about. But yeah, I think Jarvis has a very realistic chance to be a Hall of Famer. Vandergreen is pitching quite well. I don't know that I'm willing to trust him too much, but I'm at least willing to give him. I'll have a chat with him. A really cheap reliever like him just gives me so many options for how to spend on the rest of the roster. I think this is fine. I don't think he's going to be as good as he is right now, but I think at the very least he'll be replacement level. And that's an incredible value for replacement level. Truly exceptional. How we looking, fam? We look pretty decent. Um, I think Juan Gaviret is horribly overpriced, but as a team, we're not hitting our very best. Darren Heil has an incredible on base percentage, but he's not hitting the way that he has been. Gillens is phenomenal. Gillens is the new heartbeat of this lineup, which is excellent to see. Is Mitch Couples getting on base? Not really. Honestly, I think Mitch Couples and Heil should switch places. But Gaviret's not super great. I think Gaviret really caught me at the wrong time for our sakes, and that he's being way overpaid. But it's fine. Jeff Shumo is playing quite effectively. Galindo is okay. Bennett is fine. Ambrice is okay. I don't have any like genuine. What's what I'm looking for? I don't have any people to take over a game right now, but I have a lot of players that could take over the game. I have a lot of players that are highly effective. So I will take highly effective and then just wait for some other people to figure stuff out. Chris Cram is pitching quite poorly. Um, he's given up bombs and he's not striking people. He's not striking people out. Excuse me. Um, I'd rather have Boardman than Chris Cram. If that's a choice I'm being asked to make. What if I traded Chris Cram at the low point of his abilities? What if I did that? What if I looked at all players? I think just nobody wants him. He's pretty inexpensive, right? I think getting rid of Chris Cram is the smart play. But I am going to give him another month just in case. I have that time and I'd rather use it to the best possible effect. Eventually, Alfredo Caballero is going to make me make a decision that I don't want to make. I don't think that time is anywhere near here yet. He's still just pure potential right now. He needs to start thriving in the high minors, essentially. We need to see him start playing well in Double A. I think that's the next great challenge for him: is playing well in the high minors and making it so I have to make an important decision. Evander Green took a pretty cheap extension. I'm happy with that. Who else is a pending free agent? Chris Kramis. We're not bringing him back. That would be stupid. I don't know. Pickerin's not even starting anymore. Gabe Vega's starting over him, which I think is reasonable given that Gabe Vega's pitched quite effectively. Which one would you want for a long-term deal? You want to get paid all of the money. I don't think I can afford that right now. I'm sorry, Carmona. Maybe my answer will change, but for right now, the answer is hell no. Phil Savage is going to miss 6 weeks. So there's Mike Boardman's spot opened up. There you go. Got to get that next man up mentality, right? You've always got to be ready with lots of backups and quality depth pieces in case people get hurt. Okay, Dan Sutton is getting injuring his hamstrings a lot. Like a lot. How about you stop doing that? Okay? Do I have a pitcher that can fill in now? Juan Golden Corral, maybe? We can have a stop with the Golden Corral, I guess. I suppose. I don't really have many starting pitchers that are ready for the major leagues. That is a serious deficiency on this team that we talked about last episode. And somebody else pointed out, what about Dan Sutton? Completely fair point. I did neglect that, but yeah. Like, we have a bunch of pitchers that are equal levels of mid, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't have the kind of pitcher where somebody got seriously hurt, I would be able to just plug and play. Chris Crane got 400 saves. Ernie Jarvis is injured, and he'll be back in 2 days. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're winning. We've won 57 games already. It's not as good as last season, but we've got a good working relationship. I'm going to go ahead and give him an extension. I believe that he has earned it. He's making more than me now, which does annoy me, but that's okay. Martin Medina is a good coach, but he's not a good hitting coach. Is he better than Chris Simmons? He's a lot better than Chris Simmons. No, he's not. Chris Simmons is actually really good. Apparently, we hate normal people on this team, which is funny to me, but okay. Is Simmons part of the issue? Simmons is part of the issue. I think we let Simmons walk. And then we re-sign Medina, but have Medina play. I don't want to be my hitting coach this year. I want to be my third base coach. And we'll see what that does for him. And then all the minor leaguers get extensions. Ben Johnson 100% gets an extension. Like, not even close to being a question. There is a very real chance he'll be my hitting coach next year. Because Medina, if he does stay around as a coach, is going to be that. And what about Hank and Johan? I can probably do better than him, in all honesty, especially when he's 64. So, yeah. Who have the top 100 prospects? Alfredo Caballero. Okay. I feel like in the draft, unless you get like a mind-blowingly awesome hitter, I think it has to be pitching. I need to rebuild that pitching roster of quality prospects who can work their way through my system and be in a position to help the club someday. Getting guys like Ernie Jarvis and Sergio Caballo, Sergio Carrillo, there you go, has been amazing, but it's not something you can count on if you don't have the horses, right? Like at a certain point, it's just not good enough. Vega is getting better. Carrillo's getting better. Heil is getting a little worse. Burke is better. Wiggins is better. Some other folks. I love guys adding pitches to their repertoire. Juan Cervantes is a guy to watch. Let's shortlist him. Especially a pitch as hard to throw as the knuckle curve, shows he might be something quite special. Yeah. Alfredo Caballero is out for the rest of the season. That's unfortunate. I can't really afford for him to keep losing years of development. If I'm ever going to want him to be the kind of player that we want him to be, yeah. I don't know who's going to make the post. I don't know who's going to make the All Star team this year, but we'll find out. All right, Ernie Jarvis made it. Of course he did. As did Creo, as did Carmona, as did Chris Lane. That is 4 pitchers that made it. Any hitters make it. Andy Gillens did. Darren Heil did. Mitch Couples did. He's actually starting. That is 7 players that made the All-Star team. Carmona, Carrillo, and Jarvis. Lane, Gillens, Couples, and Heil. None of my outfielders, none of whom deserved it, quite frankly. I could make a case for Mike Bennett, potentially, but I'm not going to try that hard. Just seeing guys like Darren Heil hitting the way he should be hitting just warms the cockles of my heart. So let's just keep that going. Andy Gillens is a star in this league. The only reason he looks worse than he is because of the first base positional arrangement. But he has been gangbusters ever since we added him to our roster. I mean, I guess he strikes out a little more than you'd like, but didn't Mitch Couples randomly win the MVP? No, that's not who I'm thinking of. I had an infielder completely out of nowhere win the MVP. That's a good question. Let's have a quick peek because it's gonna bug me. It was Chris Thomason, wasn't it? The one you hit like 50 home runs or something? American League Award winners, MVP. Come on now. Oh, you know what? I think it was actually in a different save. I don't think it was in this one. Yeah, Zapata won 3 MVPs for us. Chris Thomason won some ridiculous award, I thought, and I thought it was MVP, but maybe it wasn't. Fucking Nelson Escalante. Go to hell, man. Yeah, I remember Thomason had like that one ridiculous season that came out of nowhere, and he wanted like $30 million a year, and I told him no, and it turned out that I was right to have done so. Now Zapata back. I'll be honest with you. I think Zapata's best role right now is rehabbing in the minor leagues. I'm just not in a position where I feel like it's smart to rush him back, especially when I don't even know how much of an impact he's going to make anyway. You know? He also hasn't been playing that well, so I'm wondering if maybe getting himself a little bit of time will do us a lot of good. Mike Lewis won the home run challenge. Nice. El Paso just won a championship. Nice. Great job, guys. Great job. Way to make way to make us proud. All right. We got to make this a good draft. We've got to keep adding in high quality players. Wow, remember I just sat there telling you how important it was we got great starting pitching? This is a draft that has very little pitching in it. Hmm. So Victor Emmanuel Bachman is a really good hitter, but he's not this good. I don't know what my scout sees in him other than his power that leads you to believe that he is an 80 overall. I'm not saying he couldn't be. I'm not saying that that's impossible, but I am saying that I question his value. Let's look at Jeff Tetrick. He's a righty, doesn't throw super hard. A nice mix of skills here. Fastball, changeup, sinker. Pretty smart, works hard, doesn't want a lot of money. Is injury prone. That is a pretty big warning flag given that he's only 17. If he falls to the second round, I'll take him, but I want to look at some other starters first. Jonah Foster doesn't work hard and has a terrible work ethic. Has some nice pitches, though. And he's really big, which means he'll throw pretty hard. I gotta be honest, I'm not being blown away by any of these pitchers yet. And Ronnie Mina is also poor work ethic. I love the great cutter, though. That's something enjoyable to behold, but do we just hope that Big Bopper bops big? Is that what we're hoping for? That this motherfucker just cranks out home runs like they're going out of style? I think maybe we are. I think maybe I give you the slot. Kyle Krieger Jr. Again, already fragile injury wise. Not a good look. Gabe Medina is big dumb but throws 6 pitches. Hmm. The Man of Lamp. These are all not great pitchers. I'm gonna be honest with you. None of these are great pitchers. You're at least a really good infielder. I think you've got a lot of chance to be successful as a hitter that might occasionally pitch. So I think I'm gonna go for him just because he's a good value from that regard. But I'm more taking him to be an infielder than I'm taking him to be a pitcher. Plus, he's super cheap. All right, Mike Prater is a big time average guy, good eye, really decent power. I think he is a worthy addition to our franchise. Mikey boy, I will meet your demand. I have plenty of money with which to do so. Are there any good pitchers left in this draft? There is Jonathan Aguilar. Good stamina, decent size, throws okay. Look, he's not going to win any, like, amazing pitcher awards, but he's got a nice mix of pitches. He's competent. I think we draft him. And I know I'm drafting way over where he should be drafted, but I just don't have an alternative if I want anybody that can pitch. You know? Mike Soulier is a first baseman. He's not even a very good one. I don't think so. Nope. Mm-mm. I'm gonna shortlist him because I want to see what happens to him as he gets older. But he's not very good. He's just not a very good player. His entire skill is me hit ball and run fast, and I don't think that's sustainable. I genuinely don't think that's sustainable. Nizel Guthrie is thoroughly unremarkable. There's a lot of unremarkable players in this draft. This is not a 20 round draft, I don't think. Let's sort by potential. Now, Jared Hodges is a guy I can get behind. He's a guy that can genuinely stick at shortstop or potentially play third. Big power, big secondary skills, great at putting the bat on the ball. He just strikes out a lot. I am honestly willing to take that chance. I think he's a fantastic player, and I'm willing to pay his demand as well. That is a for sure decent choice. Okay. Let me look now at pitching potential, and I'm looking for somebody with great stuff. Actually, good home run rate is also pretty important to me. Actually, what about Ernie Pacheco? No, he just sucks. But it's possible that he sucks less than he appears to suck. That is certainly true, but he is a very soft tosser. I mean, we're talking about a sixth round draft pick. I can probably sign him for nothing. So, sure. Am I correct in that? Yeah, he didn't want any money at all, so sure. But I don't have a lot of hope that he's going to be a great pitcher, you know? I like Brad Moore a lot. He is also, let me be clear, very obviously flawed. He is very, very obviously flawed. His movement is shit, and he doesn't throw for many strikes, but his pitches are all really, really fantastic. And these things can be taught. I am going to draft Brad Moore and see if we can't turn him into an amazing pitcherino. Let's switch back to hitters and let's see what we're looking at here. Always look at BABIP potential. It's more useful than just looking at contact. What about Chris Bethea? No, you're not really that good a player. Mm-hmm. Let me go ahead and draft Mike Dunson. That feels okay. That feels like a potential right choice here. He wants 650 grand. You know what, my friend? You can have it. I'm not even gonna sweat it. What I'm gonna sweat is the fact that we're already pretty badly, like we're already have lost a lot of top tier players in terms of like yeah people to get excited about. Only will show me batters. Honestly, there's any good defenders in this draft. There's some good catchers. There's some decent catchers. Chris Tinsley is actually really good. Ah, who's the guy I was talking to? Yeah, Chris Tinsley is not a great hitter. That's his downside, but he's good enough defensively. I mean, he's already 21 though, which means there's not a lot of growth left in him. Hmm. People can surprise you. I think he's a worthy draft pick. I believe, maybe. You're very fast. You could probably play in center given the right circumstances. Look at center fielders, actually. David Aguilar is a terrible center fielder. Why would you tell me he's good? Let's go and take Zach Kowalska here. Let's add him into the mix. You know what? We can take Juan Covarrubias. He just keeps slipping. And then let's look at all players for high BABIP. Take Eric Outman. Let's switch back to pitching. Okay. Chris Backey has a lot of weaknesses, and he is expensive. However, if he can learn to harness his stuff, I think he could be a terrifyingly good pitcher. I'm willing to invest to find out. All he wants is $8 million. I don't think that's unreasonable. I will give you $10 million. I do think this is risky, but we're this late in the draft, everyone is risky. Hell, in the draft period, everyone is risky. Let's take Brendan Hale. 3 decent pitches. Well, 2 great pitches, 1 decent pitch. Yeah, I'm happy to take Brendan Hale. Jesus Carrillo, probably not. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, we're really at the point in the draft where it doesn't matter who we pick because nobody is likely to make a big impact at the major league level. I'm gonna take Steve Watson because he throws really fucking hard and has two two dynamite pitches. He's got a chance to be special if he works at it hard enough. So yeah, we go for that. We try that here. I mean, it's really good at preventing hits. Like, just so good at preventing hits, you don't care about the rest of the stuff here. Chad Christopher is genuinely a decent pitching prospect. 100%. Get over here, my friend. Let's take Josh Estrada. And then the last player, second to last player I'm going to take. I want to take at least 2 more hitters. Let's take Phil Northern. And then, whom else? What if I just randomly took Wilson Snyder because he's an amazing defender as a pitcher? What if I did that? I'm not going to do that, but it would be funny. It would be funny. You know what, Josh Fox? Sure, you can join us. Draft is done. I think the problem with this draft is so much rides on Bachman being as advertised. Because everyone else in this draft is really uninspiring. They've all got good stuff to them. Like, Lampman is legitimately a solid middle infielder, even if he never, ever throws a pitch in anger. But this is not an amazing draft class, but I did add some important depth and maybe some pictures that could end up being really useful to us in the future. So we take this and we move along. Move along, sir. Carrillo, you dumb motherfucker. Okay, we could take Phil Savage back. I'm a little more excited about that than Zapata coming back. Which pitcher is struggling the most? Probably Golden Corral, if I were to guess. He's actually pitching okay. It's actually Chris Cram that is struggling the most. I think I've seen enough from him. In 48 innings, he has been awful. I think we just set him free. I do feel like I would be obligated to trade him for literally anything, but since I can't even get anything, I think we just. You know what? I'm gonna try one other trick here. What if I ate his salary? Because I'm gonna cut him anyway. I will pay $2 million if anyone wants it. They don't want it. That's fine. That is acceptable. And then Phil Savage can reclaim his throne as general manager of the Cleveland Browns. No, wait a minute. That's a different Phil Savage. My apologies. Okay. Do we bring Zapata back? And I think the answer to that is yes. Or is it? The thing is, by far the worst regular outfielder is Gaviret. They're all playing pretty effectively, though. No, Jeff Shumo's not playing his best. But he is also our starting center fielder, so I can't bench him. That's a toughie, guys. That's a real toughie. I've got to make room for him if I'm going to keep him at all. So the question really becomes, do we keep Gaviret? Is Gaviret worth keeping at this point? He is extremely popular, and it's not like he's playing badly. He's just not playing super mega awesome. I cannot send any of these outfielders to the minor leagues. I can't do it. They're all too good. What if I sent down Juan Corral and we rocked 11 pitchers? Wait, we have 13 pitches already. Yeah, this is the solution. Get rid of Corral and then call up Zapata. That was such an obvious decision that I don't know why it took me so long to get there, but I did. We got there, guys. We got there. And now we get Dan Sutton back. Dan Sutton can rehab. What would I even like if I had the choice and at the trading deadline? I mean, it's really hard to say. Oh, Gabe Vega's hurt. Okay, maybe this becomes easier. The Cubs are offering me a guy who's already gone. That's whatever. Chris Gill very rudely throws a no hitter against me. I'm not a fan of that. Like a solid starting pitcher would be a nice get, but like a Josh Grote is way out of our price range, I think. Maybe he is not, but I'm also not convinced he's that great. We could ask. We can ask what it would cost me to add Josh Grote to our team. Oh, he doesn't want to play for us. Well, fuck you then, mate. Eric Lee is really old at this point. I don't think he's got much to offer me. This is just like a decidedly disappointing set of players that's available. I love Chris Miles. I think he's got some decent possibilities here. I just don't think I'm going to be able to afford him. Jorge Delgado could be amazing. Like, he's the exact kind of pitcher we've had a lot of success with, but I'm not prepared to give you Couples or Heil. That's asking too much. If I began by offering you a really good prospect, does that move the needle for you? Like a snake pink skin. It moves the needle ever so slightly, but I'm not going to give up a reliever for him. Not for a 1 year rental. That strikes me as very short sighted indeed. I see literally nobody interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and just advance time. I think there's just nobody being offered that moves the needle in the slightest. So I think we just stick with what we've got. You'd offer me Jonathan Langdon, who sucks, and bright-haired Zymudio, who is less sucky. The thing is, I like Zach Bouger. I like what he offers, but maybe we can move on from him. Maybe we can move on from him. I feel like I've got enough interesting infielders like Mossbacker off the top of my head. Okay, he's injured, so bad example, but I do feel like I've got enough infielders in my system, like Rody Bomers and so forth, that I think I could probably trade Bouger and not miss too much. Right? So let's kick the tires on trading Mr. Bouger here for any kind of prospect, really. Ideally not a first baseman, but I'd like where your head's at in terms of the quality. I mean, Luis Morales could end up starting for me in the very near future. I like him a lot if it wasn't so fucking stupid, but that might be the play. I like Lucia. Luquise here is just really all around solid. He's not great at anything, he's not bad at anything, he's just really solid. How good is Herb Hollett? He's not good, but he's not bad either. Like, if I want upside, the obvious correct answer is Morales. If all I care about is raw upside, even if he never achieves it, Morales is the choice. So I think that's what we do. I think we take Mr. Morales. Maybe he'll end up being Spider Man. Always possible. I know that's the wrong Morales, but he could be. Doug Jones is low key a really solid choice, even if he has a bizarre Korean nickname. But I'm not gonna part with that much for him. I imagine Devon White is probably also off the table for similar reasons. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. What about Chris Blydenberg? This should be the kind of guy that I can fairly easily gain if I were to ask nicely, potentially. Oh, Jeffrey Craig is really good. Like, really, really good. I don't want to trade Jeffrey Craig. I almost did it. I almost thought about it. But no, he's a really good two-way type player, and that's always going to have value to me. Can I get at least 2 starting pitchers? Could I get Malcolm Sepp? I know his O is missing. Maybe that's why he's not rated that high. I just don't really feel like putting in. Fuck it. We'll make the trade. We were getting to the point where we were really like any trade at all, and even though I don't think that was the best of trades, I think it's fine. And it does open up a space for Dan Sutton, but I can't have Dan Sutton right now. I need Rody Bomers or RJ Morley. But yeah, that's fine. This is acceptable. This is adequate. What do we do about Dan Sutton? We just let him do some more rehabbing, I think is the best answer to that question. We got a triple play. Nice. I just don't feel like rushing Sutton back to the league is the right decision, and in fact, I might actually send him back to the minors. If I'm being brutally honest with you. I mean, Gabe Vega could also rip his arm off. That's fine. That's fine. It's probably Golden Corral returning, and then we just figure out a starter from who we've already got. I do want to shortlist Bougere. I genuinely think he's got a chance to be at least a second division starter type, even if I don't think he's got a chance to be like an ace or like a really top tier player. Actually, Dan Sutton was the correct answer. I don't know why we even thought that. Why I don't know why. I don't even know why I tormented poor Golden Corral there. It's Dan Sutton coming back. Where'd he go? Did he get hurt again? He did get hurt again. Oh, game. Fine. Who the fuck is Jesus Ochoa? Where did you come from? Oh, you took him in the Rule 5 from me. Okay, well, enjoy AAA. Yeah, you can both walk. Sexton, it's your time, my friend. It is your time to show that you deserve a bigger role. I'm gonna go ahead and call up Morley. Um, Morley's a first baseman, though. He's not really a second baseman. Chris Akoff is nothing special. What about this guy here? What about Guifon Cito? He is okay. But I want to give Moss Backer a shot. I think he's 24. He deserves a shot in the major leagues. Hopefully Sexton actually gets to start, though. Man, Ted fucking Saldana, you know? Or Ted Salvato. What a legend. he's just a little guy that we drafted and then just never played him. He's a fifth round pick, currently playing in the Indies. I wish him well. I hope he's having a good time. Baseballing, as one does. Yeah, I feel like the next breaking point in this franchise's history is Ernie Jarvis retiring. Or me not being able to afford to keep paying pitchers. A concussion for John Juan. I don't know, call him John Juan Gavaret. Who's the next man up in the outfield? It's Tommy Einberger. Welcome back, Tommy. I've had a lot of injuries this year. Too many injuries. Strained back muscle. Pluvios. That sounds like the most awful cereal in the history of breakfast cereal. Like, give me some Pluvios. I don't think so. I don't think that sounds like a good breakfast to me. I mean, who am I to say? Maybe it's an amazing breakfast. Dude, quit your belly aching. I don't care if you have every disease known to man at the same time. Okay, what the actual fuck this season, guys? Look at all these pitchers that are on, like, out for the rest of the season. Like, just knock this shit off. Chris Wiggins gets to make the major leagues, which is not what I was hoping for. This is just, like, bizarre how many injuries we've had this season. And I know part of it is Dan Sutton being hurt all the time, which means I haven't had an extra starting pitcher that I could really rely upon, but, like, the fuck, man. If not for my top three starters all pitching amazingly well this year, I don't think we look as good as we do. I mean, we also have a pretty solid lineup. That's fair. I don't know that any of my hitters are like MVP caliber, but they're all quite good. So we take that. But Carmona losing velocity makes me sad. Don't do that. What if you didn't lose velocity? If you gained velocity? What if you could throw a baseball so hard it tore a hole in the space time continuum? What then? What then? Am I already shortlisting? I'd like to start shortlisting you, Mr. Skinandore. Oh my. My. I feel like I should call some people up. I just don't know who. You know? Jano? I feel like Luis Murillo can have some fun in the major leagues, possibly. Maybe. Him, Fournier. This is literally just getting arms onto the team and making our life slightly less terrible. There you go. I know it's only for a couple of weeks, but I would love for us to try to, like, just kind of cruise a little bit and not keep fucking injuring my players. Game. That would be amazing if you would stop that. Like, this is absurd how many players have been injured. And yes, Alejandro Ambriz comes back tomorrow. I'd rather have Mitch Couples if it's all the same to you. Like, I'm assuming Sam Sexton plays shortstop now, which I hope he has an amazing time. Because he's being thrust into a much bigger role than I wanted him to be. The manager of the High A douche nozzles. No, that's not his name. Michael Perez is decent, and he just won a championship, so I think he's earned a promotion. I don't want you to. I just want to promote you. Manager for Tucson. There we go. Great work, fam. Great work. Okay, we get Ivanich back. That's good news, I guess. I consider. I do have a first round bye locked up, which is very important, and I think we'll need it. We won 111 games. Who did we trade Rodolfo Guerrero for? Kellen fucking Bulkley. Yeah, that was a mistake. What if we had a Rodolfo Guerrero instead of Kellen Bulkley? What then? I tell you what then, amazing things would happen. How long? Oh no, I already knew that Schumo was hurt, didn't I? Wait, don't leave him off the roster. What the fuck is wrong with you, game? No, no RJ Morley. Yes, Schumo. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna play as well as our big forces will let us play. That's what's gonna. That's what it's gonna come down to at this stage. You know. Oh, it could have Dan Sutton back. I could see the return of Dan Sutton. Is there a reason not to bring him back? Yes, the fact that the only person I'd let him replace is a Weinman. I'm just gonna put Sutton in Portland for now. Let him get some playing time, and then we can talk and decide what he's gonna happen to him next season, next year. All right, what do we got here? We've got Sergio Creo starting the series for us. 1-0 win. We'll take it here. We will absolutely take it. What an incredible performance by him, too. Only 2 hits, a single walk, 10 Ks. Bullpen, getting shit done. We love that here. We love it. Not Pat Starr, or not Steve Starr and Pat Hotel. They could start a hotel together, maybe. Ernie Jarvis had a rough day. Not his best work. Not his best work. There we go. A fine start. Juan Carmona certainly wasn't anything mind blowing, but he was very effective. That's all that matters. He's just got to get people out. That is, as they say, the job. Juan Gavarette is healthy again. he's got a decent chance, assuming we advance to the next round, that he'll get a chance to hang out with us. Okay. All right. I'm done with my postseason series. The question is, do we bring back Gavaret? We left Zapata off the postseason roster, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's probably reasonable. I love you, brother, but it had to happen. Was Gavaret that good this year? He really wasn't. I mean, I guess I could take Steve Pratt off. Like, Steve Pratt was nothing special. We can bring Gavaret back and just see what he can do here in the postseason. Didn't you have like a really good postseason a couple years ago? Yeah, not that long ago. You were a pretty important factor in us winning, so maybe we'll use your proven playoff experience here. Until next playoff round, please. Are we having expansion again? Maybe? Possibly? Potentially? Theoretically? Maybe. Good old Tai Mok Kim. Remember that postseason a few seasons ago, where Carmona just wasn't allowed to start for whatever reason? I bet the manager there feels really stupid now. As he should. Okay, off to an excellent start, although I can't help but notice my starting pitcher didn't pitch his very best. He pitched well enough to win. That's honestly all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for. We do have Tiger Killer Rody Bomers on the roster, so that's an oof by Boardman there. Jarvis had a fantastic outing. Boardman just detonated like fucking nuclear bomb. Oh, Juan Carmona helped us dominate. We love that here. 9 runs, no homers. That's pretty wild. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, damn, son. Roca had himself an off game. Billy Pickren actually had it going on, but yeah, Danny Roca there chose the wrong time to shit the bed. I will activate Phil Sullivan, but we're not going to use him this postseason series. I literally cannot do that. So, and they lit up Carrillo. I think this is probably it. I'm not saying I don't have faith in Ernie Jarvis, but this postseason he hasn't been his very best. But maybe we'll get lucky. We did get lucky, but not because we're. Ernie Jarvis definitely contributed. He had a decent outing, just not a great one. Rody Bomers truly is the Tiger Killer. I could play this game out. I don't think I'm going to though. Because I didn't need to. Fuck yeah, Carmona. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. Nice. It's the Wolves and the Marlins. Do we want to add Phil Sullivan to our postseason roster? Is that a thing we'd like to do? The thing is, like, the one pitcher I'd probably replace would be Pickern, but Pickern has been awesome this season. He's been really, really good. I could drop Golden Corral for Phil Sullivan. That I feel decent about. I think Sullivan is a pretty remarkable pitcher, and I think he makes us a better team having him available. I think is the right choice. So that's what we're going to do. Oh dear. That was a beating. Oh, it was defense. Who fucked up? Darren Heil did. No bueno, amigo. No bueno. Phil Sullivan's like, it's easy, dog. I'm just going to come off right off the IL. Only allow 4 hits. Easy play. Easy game. I would love to have Mitch Couples, but I can't because the seasons are it's already started unless somebody else gets hurt. I can't replace him. Billy Pickren. Oh, he's back in the pen. Yeah, Jarvis didn't pitch his best. I mean, Pickren didn't pitch well either. Carmona got it done. Okay, okay. Nice, Sergio Carrillo. By the way, who's hit 2 home runs so far this series? Juan Gaviret. You thought I was crazy to promote him to the roster. Crazy like a fox. Two randos got promoted. That's fine. Oh, I didn't even look at these guys. Are you any good? You're not good, but you're also not good. So yeah, I don't think we bother with that. And there we go. Another World Series championship. Well done, team. Clap, 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 clap. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. This is not a season where I felt like we were dominating. I say this as literally winning 111 games. We were clearly a top tier baseball team this year. Maybe the best baseball team this year. But I never really felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm just been spoiled to the point where I'm just like, yeah. But I mean, we literally had a Hall of Fame baseball player not make the postseason roster, which is completely nuts to me. Now, a big piece of this is that 3 players didn't get hurt this year: Sergio Carrillo, Ernie Jarvis, and Juan Carmona. That is massive. Truly, truly massive to have those 3 players stay healthy the entire season. As predicted, Sergio Zapata opts into his contract. You know what, Chris Lane? You were pretty damn solid. You are a pretty good pitcher this year, and I think you have earned yourself an additional season with us. Okay. So an important question is, can I shift my hitting coach to third base coach? Is that a thing he would accept? No, he wouldn't. If that's the case, I'm not keeping Medina either. I mean, we just won the World Series. I feel like firing the hitting coach is silly, but I also think he's holding us back, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll have a think about that one. I genuinely thought Medina would take a promotion to third base coach. That's kind of what I want him to do. Mm, mm. We also lost some other people leaving and or retiring. Let's write this down. I'm not surprised at all by Zapata deciding to resign. Because no one else is ever going to give him that much money. They just weren't. Out of curiosity, I don't really want to pay him at all, but this is a reasonable sum to ask for. So we might have a chat about that in the off season here. Who got it done this year? Who were our top tier players? Who really made us outstanding? Our best position player was Jeff Schumo. However, well, he was a good hitter, maybe even a very good hitter. Most of his value came from the fact he was a Gold Glove caliber center fielder who also happened to steal 20 plus bases. The strikeouts are redonkulous, but the rest of the package here is really attractive. He's a really good all around center fielder, and we're lucky to have him. Andy Gillens is amazing. Everything you want a hitter to do, he does. Yeah. I wish he'd struck out a little bit less. Honestly, minor complaint. What a tremendous player he's turned out to be. Darren Heil. He has issues. He's not a very good second baseman, but he's good enough and he's such a great hitter at the position that I'm more than happy to have him around. I am beyond thrilled to have a player of his caliber playing for us. Not his best season, but certainly a good season. And the most important part of the season is he stayed healthy. He also had a career high in home runs. If he can turn on the power jets the way that we know that he can, he's going to be dominant. Mitch Couples had a great season on the surface. He stole a shit ton of bases. So many bases. He was a genuinely top tier shortstop who maybe had a few too many errors but has great range. His offense, mid. He wasn't a detractor with the bat, but he didn't get on base very often. He didn't hit for a very high average, and his power numbers are slightly off. I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot about a guy who is worth 5 wins, but I need him to hit better. I do need him to hit better. Not a lot better, but I do need him to hit better for us to be the best team. Especially because we stupidly set him up to be the leadoff guy, which was yikes. Juan Galindo really turned in a great season for us. He was amazing off the bench. He got regular playing time, made the most of it. I like him a lot. He did very well. Juan Galvarette was fine, but he's not good enough. Given what he's being paid, he has to be a tone setter, and he is not that. There's definitely another level to unlock out of him. He's met that level just as recently as last year. We just need him to be even better going forward. Mike Bennett is drastically overpaid. This is becoming incredibly apparent to me. I think I let myself get tricked by his offensive numbers in 2043 because it's been all downhill since then. Right now, he's underpaid. Right now, he's being paid what he's worth. If he doesn't start hitting better next season, it's going to be really rough. It's going to be really, really rough. As a rookie, Sam Sexton, C plus, maybe a C. Decent bit of power, really good on base skills. To turn in an on base percentage nearly 100 points higher than your batting average showed that you know how to get on base. And he was a competent defender too at both third base and shortstop. Is he going to be an all-star for us? No, but I think he is a useful he's a useful piece, and for a third round draft pick, that's fine. Joe Brock was bombs off the bench incorporated. In fact, you've earned it. You are bombs off the bench Inc. Not it. I don't know what that means, but it sounds wrong. So that is your new nickname, Joe Brook. That's how you know you've made it. But you seriously were an important piece of this team. You really hit the right pitch at the right time and were really valuable to us. Rody Bomers was fine-ish. Had a good season, just didn't play very much. And I think he's definitely earned a chance to be in a bigger part of this team next year, I think. Ambrice was really good as well, despite being injured all the time. Einberger putting up one war in 23 games is pretty bonkers. Pretty bonkers. Sergio Zapata was terrible. Um, I mean, that's the nicest, kindest, gentlest way I can put it. He was terrible. He's done. He is well and truly done. I'm happy for him, and I know we got him at such a discount for so long. The man is racking up MVPs. He's being paid peanuts. But he's done quite well for himself, and I'm just really eager to see him retire and make it to the Hall of Fame. Truly, truly interested in seeing that. Yeah. Let's not lose sight of why we won though. We had a lot of really good players that played quite well. This was the year for pitching. This was the year where our three top pitchers just wouldn't stop pitching, and I'm so grateful to them for that. Sergio Criollo's already got a Cy Young in his trophy cabinet. He might have another one coming with this amazing season that he had. Juan Carmona, fantastic season. He's proving to be a worthwhile ace in the fine Charlotte Silver Wolves tradition. He's going to get paid a lot of money. Ernie Jarvis, his innings pitched are going down. If there's a flaw in his game, he's not as durable as he used to be. But he comes through in big moments. He doesn't walk very many people. He keeps the ball down. He's just a consummate professional in every definition of the word consummate professional. Um yeah. More than happy to let him continue to pitch for the Charlotte Silver Wolves for the foreseeable future. Daniel Roca was incredible this season. A 2.6 war out of your bullpen because he just didn't walk people and struck everybody out is awesome. Phil Sullivan, he he didn't pitch as much as we would have liked him to, but when he did pitch, he was really valuable. And I think he's definitely earned a chance to show a little more of what he can do. We just got great pitching from top to bottom. The only pitcher this year who sucked was Casey Choate, and why did he suck? Because he was injured, which is classic Casey Choate. Gabe Vega, I would like it on the record that he's worth almost 2 WAR. Um, we got a lot of great performances out of this club, and really everyone played well. There's not a single player who I can look at and say, what a trash tier player, other than maybe Zapata. Um, yeah. I feel like Zapata only comes back if he takes a very cheap deal and then only to come off the bench. He can't play the field anymore. Um, I mean, he is a Hall of Famer. That is true. That is a true statement. He is a Hall of Famer. What does he have to play for? 500 doubles? Maybe? He gets 3 doubles, he gets to 500. How many players with 500 doubles in Major League history? It's got to be a fairly select group, right? Can we take a peeky peek at the leaderboards? I'm just curious. So career doubles, the all-time leader is Tris Speaker 792. Okay. I guess 500 doubles doesn't even get you in the top 100. Get you just over the top 100. Okay. Well, maybe it's not really that big a deal. Sergio Zapata is the 20th best baseball player in Major League Baseball history. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty crazy, actually. The 20th best baseball player in Major League history is Sergio Zapata. I had no idea how good he was. I knew he was good. I knew he was very, very good. But I didn't know he was that good. That's pretty bonkers, actually. Damn. Yeah. Great player. Downside of his career, I just want him to take it easy. Um, I mean, he'll get a chance to make the team in spring training, but I just don't think he has it anymore. I truly don't think he does. We can't all be hearing Jarvis, right? But yeah, great season. A lot of fun. Great stuff happened. And we're going to bring it back next episode and try to see what we can accomplish as a franchise and see what we can do to make sure that we continue to be competitive into the future. So I hope you'll join me for that. Otherwise, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I bid you good day.